Another week, another trading cycles video. It's week 18, 2024. My name is Urmas and I'm here to give you an overview of what has happened last week on the financial markets and what we can expect this coming week. Before we do, you are obviously free to smash that like button as well. So and also share this video if you like this content. Also subscribe if you haven't done it already on our YouTube channel, and you can visit our website as well, where you can see my services like one-to-one consultations, for example. It's tradingcycles.co.uk. And I also need to remind you that this content is provided for educational purposes only. You need to do your own due diligence before we before you make any decisions, and always trade the price and not the prediction there. Now let's have a look here. Last week we did see some economic figures, like GDP data did come out prior to the next Fed meeting, which is going to take this week, and Eurozone also showed a bit strength there in services area at least. And what else we did see? So first quarter GDP was a bit slower than expected, which is also raising alarms, ongoing inflation wise, and potential challenges there. Yeah. What else? Housing figures did come out as well, and they were actually fairly strong, should I say? Yeah, let me see. It was about 8.8% growth, yeah, in March, despite high mortgage rates. So yeah, US economy is still holding strong. Obviously this week we will have some key data coming out as well, so about that a bit later. Now a couple of things to cover as well here. So retail investors have been now kind of getting out of the markets. At least their optimism is not that great anymore. Obviously the markets have been correcting a bit, yeah, so that's quite normal. And on the other hand, the recession talks are basically fading from the news. So we did see a height of the word recession to be obviously covered in the news back in 22, but now it's been slowly declining, and obviously at some point that sentiment will turn around again, but at the moment, yes, it's quite calm. Nobody's really worried about recession. What we can say though is that Cathie Wood's popularity is obviously fading as well. Okay, so the ARK fund is sinking quite fast. Money is flowing out, and it's not looking good at all. And there is quite good reason, because she has reached a top there, at least in top of the 10 wealth-destroying fund families over the past 10 years. So ARK fund is obviously on top of that. So if you have invested in ARK fund, there is a good chance that you have lost your money as well at some point there. So it's not really a good investment as it has come out now. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too risky. Maybe the strategies need a bit longer perspective, but obviously it's not looking good so far. And also Boeing is not doing very well, should I say. Yeah, so all three major credit rating agencies have now lowered their outlook on BA, which is basically just about junk. So, oh dear, that's not looking good at all. And what else? The next bank is also in trouble. Yeah, so as we have talked about it before, the banking sector in US is going to be possibly in greater trouble later on this year. But the first one who came out late last week was Republic First. Yeah. And it's going to be now taken over by Fulton Bank, I believe. Yeah? So, and also from here we can see that the most vulnerable ones should be at the moment California banks, then New Jersey, and then Rhode Island as well, and Washington following. Yeah, all right. So something to keep in mind. And what else? Well, with Fed rates decisions, it's now obviously kind of turning to that side where some people are expecting Fed to not lower the rates but increase the rates during the year. Yeah? So obviously it's going well all the way from left to right and up down, and yeah, it's kind of weird how this sentiment is kind of moving around. But yeah, obviously we will possibly hear some sort of truth this week. The next announcement will be then on 1st, on Wednesday, and then we will see what Fed Chair Powell is about to say. I guess there is gonna be something that market don't really like to hear, but I don't think they're gonna change anything rates wise just yet. We'll see, obviously. Now, small cap equities have been obviously not doing so well, and we have been covering that for quite some time already. It's not looking good because they are as low compared to the overall market as it was back in 30s, so about 90 years ago. Yeah, so it's not good at all, and possibly at some point they should turn around, but in the great interest environment, small caps are not doing really well. Yeah, they are quite dependent on the capital inflow, and it's not really good environment for them at all. And also it's quite tilted towards the high cap or large cap companies anyway, yeah? As it was back in 30s and also back in 2000s and back in 70s. Yeah, so basically we are now in that heightened obviously position again with that sort of concentration there. So basically all the big companies, about 10 of them in S&P, like Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Berkshire Hathaway, Eli Lilly, and JP Morgan, and also Broadcom, are making up about 35% of the whole S&P. So it's not really, really that good. It's so tilted already. But yeah, this is where we are at the moment. Now, cash holdings are quite high as well for companies. It started to raise obviously from 2020, yeah? And it's been kind of on rise. So we can see that from corporate buybacks as well. Obviously these corporations don't have anything better to do than just buy back their own shares, and obviously the earnings are still going up. So even this season we have had so many positive surprises there, and it's all going well. So the best ones have been healthcare sector, communications, information technology, and also consumer staples. Yeah, so these are the ones who are outperforming anyway. But it's looking good, and so far we have had already almost as much buybacks as we had in the previous years. Yeah, so in the first quarter already here to date. So we do expect that this year is going to be massive buyback year for corporations as well. Yeah, and what else we do see here? So obviously we do expect that they do go side by side, the earnings and cross buybacks. So this is what we have seen in the past, and that's gonna probably go ahead as well like that. Yeah. And if you look at cross buybacks to earnings ratio, then that's basically on the lower edge there. Yeah, so we're not even anywhere near the top just yet. So it's gonna go even higher, I suspect. Who did lose out quite a bit as it came out today, because Andrew Panglino, yeah, if I said it right, Tesla's former top engineering executive, who resigned just a few weeks ago, sold recently more than 1 million Tesla shares. And today, yes, pre-market, I did notice that the Tesla shares were up around 12-13%. So he did lose out quite a bit. So that's why the timing is also quite important. But obviously not everyone is able to time the markets correctly. But yeah, that's something that I just noticed there. In other news, well, obviously Senate did pass aid bill to Ukraine, and also they did pass TikTok ban. So obviously requiring ByteDance to either sell the company or it's going to be banned in US. So they did answer that they are planning to sue that decision. And also Venice tourism has been kind of shaking a bit, because they have decided to bring into force a tourism fee or visitor fee there, which is basically charging day trippers $5.4, and they want to achieve obviously reduced numbers of tourists in that area. Well, that's kind of weird how world is turning. So they're not that much interested anymore in tourist money. They're rather interested in peace and quiet, yeah, apparently. Okay, we'll see how it's going to play out, but they are one of the first ones, I believe, yeah, who are planning to introduce that sort of fee. Okay, and from the car industry, Ford Motors did do quite well in the first quarter, and their numbers have been very, very good, and obviously the price did react quite well as well. Tesla earnings were quite obviously poor, but as they did promise that they are going to bring to the market a new lower priced Model 2 quite soon, and yeah, there were some other good news, and obviously Tesla is not that much of a car company anymore. It's moving towards the technology more and more, and AI and robotics and so on. So yeah, I think Tesla still has better days ahead, yeah. So let's see how it goes. General Motors did bring out quite good results as well, so their profit outlook is obviously looking better now, and the share prices did rise as well. PepsiCo did also surprise with quite good results. Boeing did not do so well, but still better than expected, yeah. So that's also not too bad. What else we did see? Meta, obviously. Meta's numbers were very good, but the market didn't like that. Zuckerberg is planning to invest quite a lot of money there, obviously on the AI infrastructure, and yeah, that's not good. So the stock did plummet about 19% after earnings last week. And also IBM did lose quite a bit after earnings, so not doing good either. Intel, same story. Google, though, did absolutely fantastic. So they are introducing their first dividend, and also about 70 billion worth of stock buybacks. So obviously the market did like that quite a bit. And Microsoft also did quite well, but the stock didn't do as well as Google's one. Yeah, so that's all right. And also from the oil services, Exxon earnings were not so good. So they did report about 28% drop in Q1 profits, and it did miss estimates. But Chevron did quite well, yeah. So they surpassed expectations with 2.93 per share despite profit drop. Yeah, all right. So that's all good. Now, what else did catch my eye? We are hearing now that maybe a New York Stock Exchange is gonna start trading 24 hours a day quite soon. Well, we'll see how this gonna play out, but obviously as quite many markets do trade 24 hours like Forex and also crypto markets. So maybe it's time for stock exchanges to move on as well. Well, we'll see how it's gonna play out, but obviously maybe fund managers and obviously some people involved are not so happy with that, so they need to work even more maybe. But still, anyway, yeah, well, let's see how it's gonna play out. Those markets that are trading 24 hours a day anyway do exist, and why not include stock markets there as well. Now, in other news, Lululemon did announce some layoffs in Washington distribution center, impacting about 128 jobs, and they're planning to shift their operations to Los Angeles instead. Verizon subscribers have lowered less than expected there, yeah. So we might see a turnaround there as well. So maybe Verizon is going to do a bit better now from here on. JP Morgan is closing its branch at 45 Wall Street. So that's basically one of the first long-standing physical presence that's going to be now closed in historical Wall Street. Yeah, so that's that's kind of sad news, but that's where the world is heading now, more online and less, obviously, commercial real estate is needed, what we have been talking about. Yes, so obviously it's gonna shift quite a bit. Now iPhone sales did decline also in China, and obviously the competitors like Huawei are taking over, which is not good news for Apple. But on the other hand, Apple did announce that they are introducing Open Elm model, which is basically efficient AI model for local devices that you can run even on your smartphones or tablets, which is quite good. This is what we have been expecting, some more innovation from Apple side this year, and yeah, we are starting to hear those news more and more. Yeah, so that's obviously a good sign. So maybe Apple is going to turn around as well at some point, but yeah, it might be just a weak year for Apple at this time. Let's put it this way. But yeah, it's been quite slow. We will look at the charts in a moment. Yeah. Now let's look at what we usually cover here. So comparing now Russell 1000 to Russell 2000. So basically it's been quite steady there. The balance remained the same. Growth versus value is now obviously tilting again back to growth area, as the last week we did see some obviously a recovery there. And if you look at the forecast that we did put out last week, it did play out exactly in reverse. Let's put it this way. Yeah. So if we turned it around, yeah, as you see, so it's flipped around, then it did match the price action quite exactly. All right, so that obviously was a good spot there, but it was, yes, playing in the opposite direction. Usually within the first 2 days in the week we can understand whether the prediction is working in the right way or not. Yeah. All right, and now a 50-day moving average is recovering a bit. So it's heading now back, but we'll see how it's going to play out. So basically we are still on the downtrend here, downward channel. So yeah, and also 200-day moving average did bounce back a bit as well to the red zone there. Now VIX index did recover as well. So that basically breakout that we saw last week, whether it was just a fake out or it's gonna be still a bit larger volatility there coming into play, we shall see. Obviously we do expect that there's gonna be some more volatility this month, or next month, yeah, in May basically, and yeah, that's not the only one that we had then breaking out there. Yeah. If you look at the technical picture, then yeah, S&P 500 has been in negative territory. All the indicators are red now. Yeah, so it did bounce back a bit, but it didn't change the sentiment, so it's still in negative trend at the moment, short term. If you look at the long term weekly chart here, so basically that has been now starting to turn around as well. There is some divergence in play, and also some resistance has been forming. So I do suspect that there's going to be quite a bit lower support levels now coming into play. So we should see some more corrections coming in force, possibly in the next coming weeks. And Russell 2000 is in similar obviously territory at the moment. It's all negative. It did bounce back from this support, but I do suspect it's gonna correct maybe even through those support levels here. And now sector performance wise, technology and communications were the best ones, and the worst one was basic materials. Yeah. And if you look at the heat map for the week, then it was mainly green. There were some red ones, as we did point out already. But yeah, technology and communications were the leading ones. Yeah, all right. Otherwise, it was quite mixed. And winners and losers, yeah, it was more on the positive side, yeah, but some of them did lose out quite a bit as well. So ABBV, for example, BMY, Bristol Myers, and Meta, obviously, and what else was there? So LKQ, VRSN, and so on, yeah. So yeah, there were some losers, obviously, but overall sentiment was quite positive during the week. And if you look at SOX, not these SOX that are obviously on your feet, but the SOX index, which is semiconductors index, and then that one is also now correcting quite a bit. Similar situation, so it did bounce back a bit, but I do suspect it's going to correct even further from here on. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of resistance already in play, and it's all in negative territory as well. So it's just a correction to the downside at the moment, I think. Yeah, as it is quite normal. I wouldn't call it a dead cat bounce just yet, but something in those lines. Yeah, maybe in a softer way. All right, and insider activity has been very slow for a couple of weeks, yeah, so nothing really is going on there. No buying, no selling, mainly. Okay, nothing major at least. Fear and greed index has been obviously in fear zone for a couple of weeks now, and well, yeah, it might come back a bit, but I do suspect that it's going to stay on that fear side now for a bit more or longer. Crypto is still in greed zone, yeah, so there's quite a lot of optimism still in crypto zone or crypto sector. Now, if you look at the spiders seasonality, then we are in correction phase as well in that sense, yes, so that's quite normal. And if we are heading now to month of May, then yeah, we do see some correction here as well. Although there's gonna be quite good strong, so to say, growth time as well, but we'll see when the turning point is going to be. Obviously, we don't want to jump in too early. We need to see the indicators to turn green as well before we start making any decisions there. All right, if you look at Astro calendar, then this coming week we'll see probably still quite a lot of volatility, as there are some macro events also taking place, but from the astrological events, well, Venus is moving to its own sign, to Taurus, and also Mars is moving to its own sign, Aries, yeah, so these are quite significant shifts there. Also on Wednesday we will see Venus square Pluto, also quite volatile, and then Pluto will turn retrograde on Thursday. So there's going to be quite a lot of activity still, yeah, in that sense as well. Okay, and if you look at our black box model, yes, this is also pointing to a bit more negative month ahead here, yeah, until it turns around, maybe later on in May or in June then, yeah, okay. And what to expect this week? Yes, the Fed meeting is taking place, so Chair Powell is obviously giving its press conference on the 1st, I believe, yeah, about the rate adjustments there, or future rate adjustments. We'll see how it's going to play out, but yeah, as said, there's going to be something that market is not gonna probably like, but yeah, what it is, it's hard to predict at the moment. Now the earnings are still gonna go ahead, full steam ahead, yeah, as well. So we will see technology giants like Amazon and Apple announcing, also AMD. Then there's also healthcare, consumer goods, energy, and financial companies still announcing. And they will be possibly then Domino's Pizza, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Yum Brands, Hershey. What else we got then from healthcare? Eli Lilly, GE Healthcare, Amgen, and Novo Nordisk. And also Berkshire Hathaway is announcing their earnings, and their annual shareholder meeting will take place on Saturday, where Warren Buffett will obviously discuss first quarter results and also economic trends. Yeah, so that's quite important to keep an eye as well on. He's always got something to say, and it's quite important to pay attention what he's gonna say. What else we got there? Yeah, okay, so let's see what our prediction is giving us this week. So basically we did put it out this way. Now we do have a thesis that this week we'll see some declining prices now, okay, unless it's all again turned around, basically inverted, but yeah, this is our thesis at the moment, because our longer cyclical analysis also pointing to the downside, at least for the first half of the month. So we did see that bounce back last week, and now we do suspect that the market is still gonna correct even further. All right, good. Let's have a look at the charts as well. So basically, S&P 500 turning points, what we do have here. The next one is actually today on 29th, and thereafter we will have one on the next Monday, 6th of May. Yeah, it is kind of playing with that support level here at 20 moving average, but it is basically closing now above that line. So we'll see how it's going to play out. We did see our S&P signal coming out also last week, and it did point to the upside. Yeah, so we do suspect it's going to be still positive until tomorrow or the 1st. Yeah, then we should get the new signal as well. We'll see how it's going to play out, but yeah, at the moment it's still fairly positive there. What else we got then? Let's look at the oil as well. So oil did reach its next turning point on Thursday, and it's kind of started to correct to the downside, although there's quite a lot of support as well. The next turning point is on the 9th, now coming up next Thursday. From gold, what we do see here, so basically gold did correct a bit. Now the next turning point is going to be on the 1st, and then on the 6th, which is next Monday. We shall see. At the moment it's fairly positive still, yeah. So indicators at least are quite positive, although we have that resistance there as well. So we need to see some sort of power to push through that, and then we should see even higher prices for gold market. And now if you look at Bitcoin did reach its next turning point today on 29th, and the next one is coming up on Friday the 3rd. Yeah, okay, so it possibly can turn around here, yeah, as it did see some declining prices from the last one until this one. Yeah, okay, and what else? So T-bonds, I do suspect are gonna go a bit higher now as well. So I'm looking for signals here to point to upside now as well. So we'll see. At the moment it's kind of showing a bit more positivity. It's not just there yet, so no reason to clap just yet. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on these as well. And what else? We got those junk bonds are kind of showing some enthusiasm as well, yeah, although all in negative territory still. Okay, so that's where we stand. Let's look at biggest companies as well then. Apple did bounce quite a bit today, yeah, so this is good. Hopefully we'll see some strength, although it's kind of a falling angel there or something like that. So the fight is still on. There is some great resistance ahead. It has been touched now three times already. Yeah? So unless we're gonna break through, we might be still keep moving in that channel. Okay, so we'll see. Amazon is showing some strength as well, although it did decline by the end of today already. But yeah, it's looking a bit better now than it was last week. And now Google is doing still good, although it is kind of correcting from that big bounce. So that's quite normal, but the indicators are all in green still, yeah. So I guess it's gonna still go ahead and move even higher. Microsoft is in negative territory, so if that, well, yeah, that was already broken, that support here, so I do suspect it's gonna correct a bit further from here now. Nvidia, same story. It should go even lower than it is at the moment until it's going to go up again. Yeah. Meta is also in negative territory, as discussed earlier. Yeah, so market didn't like Zuckerberg's long-standing investment plans there for AI infrastructure, and obviously it's not looking good at the moment for the price either. Yeah, so there's a bit more to the downside. The next support levels are at 350 somewhere there, yeah, even lower some of them. So we'll see how it's gonna play out, yeah. And Netflix also, it's forming kind of flag pattern here at the moment, and If I'm correct, it should break out of the room is running out here in that pennant. And if it's gonna correct to the downside, I do suspect it's gonna end up somewhere here in those support levels, yeah, around what is it, 480 to even 450, maybe something in that territory, yeah. Okay, so we'll see how it's gonna play out. Tesla is doing real great, yeah, as we did obviously say about a month or two ago, yeah. I did say that the next half or second half of April is going to be quite positive, and also late May and June are usually quite good times for Tesla, yeah. So that's something to bear in mind. Yeah, that's quite positive now. PayPal is showing some strength as well. It's touching that resistance there almost third time now, yeah, as it's been, or is it even fourth time? I'm not sure now. I lost count already. But as far as it's staying in that below that resistance, then yeah, there is no good strength. But if it's gonna break out, then I'm gonna be quite positive for PayPal as well. Yeah. All right. And Lululemon, we are keeping an eye on it as well. It's all negative still. Yeah. But hopefully at some point we will see some strength coming in to this stock as well. Perfect. That's about it for this week. I'll thank you for staying with me till the end, and obviously I hope you enjoyed this episode. At least if you did gain some good knowledge, then please like and share this video as well. That helps obviously to be recognized by algorithms in YouTube channel, and other people will see this video as well then. All right, much appreciated. And also, if you have any questions or you would like to discuss your personal cycles, then please get in touch. We can discuss it further. Thank you very much for your time, and happy trading.